Hey, 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 welcome back to Drive Time. I am your host, Craig Pasta Jardula, and we do it live, bringing you all the hot takes, headlines, and unfiltered opinions that matter most. Whether you're stuck in traffic, cruising to work, or just chilling at home, we want to hear from you. Today's topics are all about the big stories making waves, but we're not just here to talk at you. We want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and your take on everything from the latest political debates to the everyday challenges we face. Remember, whether you're on the left, the right, or somewhere in between, we welcome all points of view. So grab that hands-free device, dial us up, and let's dive into the conversation. What's on your mind? It's Drive Time. Call in now. All right, welcome to the show. Am I on? What's going on?
Good morning, my friend.
You hear me echoing? Oh, that was you. You just lowered it down. I saw you over there.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's it. What did
Messing
Donald
up,
Trump say on the show? You're fired. Okay. Guys, welcome to the show. It's Drive Time in the morning. It's Friday. You see Rasputin Jesus next to me. That means it's time for Andrew Zigman. He is in the house. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How's your week been, sir?
It's been good. It's Friday night. It's date night, so that's going to be interesting tonight. We'll see how things go.
Who you taking to the beach for Chinese this week?
No, I'm not taking anybody to the beach for Chinese. I'm taking a Hindu girl for steaks. We do have it's the truth. I'm not lying. We do have our engineer with us too as well. You see that circle up there? Every once in a while it will kind of illuminate or shake or radiate or do whatever. He's the engineer co-host and just the guy I just can't quit. I can't get enough of him. Sleepy J.
Hey everybody. Good morning.
We were getting a little bit kind of weirded out before the show talking about obscure things, but we're not going to talk about that on the air because and I got a hat on because I'm just not dealing with the hair today, Andrew. It's like, no, not doing it.
If you want, I can get my hat. I think it's in the other room though.
No.
Your bowler one?
Yeah.
No, I don't want. I want to see that beautiful hair all day long.
That's fair.
No vegan steaks, guys. That's been a while. It haven't been a vegan in a while. The thing is, if you eat vegan, you got to do it right too. I can tell you from experience, doing all that processed shit, that fake food, that like ruined my gut lining, intensified my eczema tenfold, and I had to get all that stuff out of my system. So if you're gonna do vegan, you better be doing it right. You better be living off the land, making sure you have no pesticides in all your fruits and vegetables, and going to have a decent amount of beans to get that protein somehow. But yeah. Andrew, what are you typing?
Oh, I was just talking in Rumble chat. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay, brother. We see you. I see it. I like it. LOL.
They'll call me Rasputin again. It just makes me laugh.
Rasputin Jesus, I think, is one of the best nicknames out there.
I think that's an Entenmann Bill creation.
I don't know if I get healing powers. You'll find out, man. First place I'm going is the Children's Hospital.
We got Kalen's hanging out over there. Entenmann Bill, of course. He's got his Entenmann's. Wait, what is your favorite Entenmann? Do you guys have Entenmann's? Andrew, do you eat Entenmann's?
I haven't had one in like 15 years.
So I don't even know what that is. What is an Entenmann?
Right, the ones with the fruit in the middle are good.
Which one?
The ones that had like the fruit in the middle, like a circle of fruit.
You're talking about the cake. You get the raspberry cheese one, I think, is one, which is like a cream.
Nah, that's a different one. These are like individual. It's like a little pastry, and then the middle.
Little pastries. They've had apricot is in one of them, I think.
Yep.
Is it kind of like a Danish?
Kind of.
Well,
yeah.
Entenmann's is the brand. It's like a store. It's like
I know what you're talking. It's like almost like Little Debbie's.
It is. It's like a competition to Little Debbie's, except they corner the market. They dominate in New York. And a lot of Italian Americans, Irish Americans, immigrants that came over in the 1900s grew up on Entenmann's for a long time. It was like in the early 1900s, I believe it started. So by the 70s and 80s, there's a comedian out there, you probably know him, Sebastian Maniscalco. He'd make that statement like, in New York and Long Island especially, it was very social. And people would just stop by and you had company, right? This is back in the days when there was no social media. You had a shit ring phone. Nobody had a portable phone.
Yeah, it was when someone showed up at your house and you were fucking excited.
Hey,
like, my bro.
What are you doing? I was in the neighborhood. Come on in. you know, and that was a common thing. And then
Yeah.
in the center of the table in the kitchen, right? Because sometimes you had a dining room table and you had a kitchen table. I mean, right? Middle class Italians growing up. There was always an Entenmann's cake. And you knew you were not allowed to touch that fucking cake, right? Like if me and my sister knew, do not touch the Entenmann's cake. You know, he's talking about the crumb cake somebody's talking about, Fred Edward. Yeah. There's a crumb cake. There's a cheese Danish one. Like there's all these, but you weren't allowed to touch it. And it was strictly for company. And if company came over, and then of course they had these little packages of Sanka, which were decaf coffee. You just hit it with some hot water. So you'd have some coffee and cake and just shoot the shit and nosh. But it really told the time of like, you know, when social gathering and community was a fucking thing, you know? And that shit's just gone. And Doug Stanhope does another great thing. And I'm not, once again, I'm not a huge comedian guy, but, you know, I do pay attention here and there. You know, Doug Stanhope does this whole fucking thing where, you know, people who bag on immigrants is like, oh my God, they don't even speak the language. He goes, you know who speaks the language? You and your neighbor. And you guys fucking avoid eye contact. God forbid you go to the fucking, you know, like you just avoid social settings. You avoid talking to people nowadays. It's a thing. You know, you can literally live your life. You can have your groceries delivered. You can have everything brought to you, put in front of your doorstep. You can live without even having to communicate with a human being nowadays.
You can still live like it's 2020 if you really want to.
What's that?
I said you could still live like it's 2020 if you really want to. You know, just totally isolated.
You can.
But I think so. That idea, that concept, is actually what I would call organized loneliness, to where it's like the systems we have with like social media and digital technology have like intentionally pushed people into isolation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I've been calling it anti-social media for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's by design for real. And
for sure.
Like you see some communities, like for example, like the Amish community, when something happens, they're all together. You know what I mean? Like my exposure to them is going to like hospitals with my kid. We're right next to Amish country at the hospital. If there's one person sick in the Amish community, the whole fucking city shows up for that kid.
Yeah.
And like I just think that's the craziest thing.
That's community.
Yeah.
You know,
and
are the Amish? Do they have Mormon rules? Are they allowed to have multiple wives, marry at 14? Or is it
no?
No, they're not Mormons.
No, do they have Mormon rules?
They're not polygamous. They're not polygamous.
So they have one wife and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And do they marry at like 14 or is that no?
I don't know.
I think they can marry pretty young, but
yeah. Well, the United States has laws that you can marry young. It's people don't realize. People think you got to be 18. Like, no, you don't. And by the way, guys, we're on the Truth Wire YouTube today because Fiorella is on assignment and I have to do a show today. So I'm just streaming the show over there to keep the algorithm. You know, that channel still has not gotten its monetization back. I just reapplied again for like the 16th time.
That's wild.
In April. Like it's still and it's just like when we were doing this show, right? And I remember because in the living room in Pasadena, I think have you been to the Pasadena house before, Andrew?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't. We spent time in DC together.
Yeah.
And right, that's where we met and hung out during the
that fucking basement, dude. I barely fit down there.
Josh has been to the Pasadena house where we had the studio in the basement. We started, and the living room was a big TV. And I used to put on the TV our growth. Like there was these YouTube channel trackers. And I had all my favorite shows, all my group of people that were there, you know, and seeing how everybody was doing. And it was a live tracker. And we were just shooting past everybody. And we were just really becoming popular. And then all of a sudden we started talking about 7 years ago, Epstein, right? And I did a video. And so Epstein's family connections to the Mossad, right? That's why when you heard people going, "Oh my God, we know for sure that Epstein was part of the Mossad or worked for the Mossad," I'm like,
that's old ass news.
Okay, you know, and a lot of the information I got on that I got from Ryan Christian. I didn't even know him at the time. That Ryan Christian is going to be back on the Truth Wire with Vanessa and Fee talking about governments and Iran's government. Is it necessary or not? You know, because some people, I feel that like not all no government is perfect, but some governments are necessary, right? They have that kind of like anarchist kind of mindset. There's rules, but no rulers. So they're going to have a conversation. But even still, when I was talking about Epstein, I got a lot of information from Ryan Christian, and I did my deep dives, and I found, you know, I was looking at Q drops and all that shit. And it was disturbing. But anyways, we were, all of a sudden after like 3 or 4 of those videos, and one of those videos almost had 500,000 views, we got that strike warning. You can't monetize off these videos. You can't make money off these videos. And then all of a sudden we started talking about elections. We started to get that strike warning, and the growth just slowed down out of nowhere, And then finally, after COVID, it was like, it was after we bullied AOC, because AOC put a letter out there to report people, and like 10 of us got demonetized that day. All those people, I don't know about Frank Analysis because I haven't spoke to him in a while. I don't know if he got his monetization back. He probably didn't even try. But everybody else, Nico House, Graham Elwood, all these other people that got demonetized that day, they've all got their monetization back except for us. It's just
Burmis got his monetization back about a month or two ago too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been that dude was demonetized way before me too. Like Burmis, another guy that a lot of the work on COVID, kind of leaning on them. I got very interesting takes on COVID because I had great sources. Like if you have good sources in different areas, like I had sources in the medical field, sources like Burmis, and obviously I would talk to Burmis a lot, and if you got good sources, you can do good journalism. You really can. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I want to talk about flock cameras today because technology, right? We were just talking about technology. So anti-social media, you call it, but you got to admit, boys, Josh, Sleepy, Andrew, that these are tools that could be used for good, right? How do you stop these things? You can make the art. The gun owners used to say it's not the gun who kills people, it's the stupid people who kill people, right? I mean, I don't know how beneficial guns could be. Well, they can. I mean, obviously they're necessary. But anti-social media, they call it. I want to talk about the flock cameras. I want you to explain exactly what's going on because this is something where it's used in a negative way. I was actually pulled over and I saw my friend Gloria sent me an article about flock cameras, how these people are using them now. They should be unconstitutional. I mean, shouldn't they be? I mean, this is against our Fourth Amendment rights. So, Andrew, if you have anything you want to put up, maybe Sleepy J, you can help them. Let's also open up the phone lines, guys. It's 561-247-2721. 561-247-2721. This is a call-in show. So you can call in and throw your opinions around. And if you don't want to talk about flock cameras or technology, you can talk about whatever you want. We'll see what we can do to oblige. But, Andrew, flock cameras, what are they? How do they work? And what's up with that shit?
I will do my best. I'm not the techiest person, but I understand it.
Oh yeah, you're just the guy who put up a tweet and got put your tweet. Bring the tweet to the table.
I think it's at 11,000 likes. I've never gotten a tweet like that.
Mr. Fucking Modest over here.
So flock cameras are sold to the public as license plate cameras for speeding tickets and red light violations, right? Like the infrastructure that's already been in place. Right, like things that people don't like but are there, and Flock takes it to the next level to where it uses artificial intelligence to create an actual monitoring grid of all of these cameras in real time.
Yeah.
And there's the abuse that can happen on an individual level with officers doing what Edward Snowden called love intelligence, love int, where they'll track and stalk people using this. But in Cleveland and in Mentor and a couple other places around Ohio, they have said, hey, we're taking these down. We're turning them off at this point. People are just so upset about these being here. And I think that's a huge victory. I don't think it's.
Can you explain again, though, what they're actually used for? They're actually supposed to get people, because I got hit with a flock camera. I know because I was coming one way. And as I'm coming this way, my license tag was expired. The cop turned in the parking lot to get next to, to get out and then followed me right away. Cut in front of a bunch of cars. He knew I was coming. He couldn't see that license plate. I got pulled over in the dark. I'm like, that cop could have never seen that license plate. What the fuck's going on? And Gloria had said, I went to my city council meeting or whatever, and they are using these flock cameras. And I was like, okay, so what exactly are they used for? Supposed to be used for?
They're supposed to be used for monitoring civilian behavior, right? Whether you're speeding, breaking a traffic law, jaywalking, it's supposed to use artificial intelligence systems to determine who is committing a crime and what crime they're committing, right? That's in the core essential level. But you have them installed in places like looking at a beach. Like there's no license plates on a beach, so what's it doing there? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or at like sidewalk crossings or on bike routes. So it's
How does it get the tag, and then it kind of loads that car in the system too as
yeah,
well?
well, it's just like a standard license plate reader in that respect, to where it will literally use AI to determine where your plate is and read it the best that it thinks it can.
Wow. So these
And
things have like a network of cameras for them to work. There has to be multiple ones. Yeah.
yeah, and
Okay. Please
and it
continue.
can
Yeah.
literally track your movement through space to wherever you're going. Like if you're driving down a highway, you get caught on this camera, you get off the highway to go, I don't know, to the gas station, you get caught on this camera. It will say, hey, this was this dude's route when he's doing this, I assume, because they're all hooked together and processed through data centers because it's powered by AI. The thing that it's going to lead to is 15-minute cities, right? It starts with, hey, we're gonna start writing traffic tickets. This guy ran a red light. Everyone agrees red light running's bad. So, this is what this technology is used for. And then it all gets installed, something happens, and then it's used to say, hey, this guy's farther away from his house than he's allowed to be. And that's the part of it that I really don't like. Like, I hate traffic cameras and like fucking gross mass surveillance, but the end of where it leads to is the much more dangerous part, in my opinion, because it's going to build, it is the infrastructure for 15-minute cities in less urban areas, like in suburbs and rural populations. And there's actually a city here in Ohio called Mentor that tried to respond to public pressure, shut the flock cameras off, and they couldn't even figure out how. So they went around the city and they put bags on all their flock cameras until they could figure out how to turn it off. And
We don't even know how to shut it down. It has a mind of its own. This is in Coral Springs.
Legitimately, that's how these things are acting and behaving. So what I'm starting to do is just what I always do, and I've been making some posters.
Yeah,
right?
hold on. Let's get him on the big screen for this. I'm sorry. We'll get you.
My camera blur is not letting it show up well, but
Because you got the blur on it, right? That's why.
my room's messy.
Well, no problem.
But I'll get these up on Twitter as soon as I finish making
Urgent
them.
warning, and you got arrows pointing to it. And what's the first one say?
AI camera ahead, and then I have ones that say avoid turning left, avoid turning right, avoid going straight, avoid this route in the future, stuff like that.
Andrew's gonna get himself in the type of the wrong side. He's gonna get himself in real trouble. That's good trouble.
Well,
the type of trouble I like.
So here's my idea, right? Because there was a point in time in my life where I could get in real trouble, and like my life supported me getting in real trouble, but my life situation doesn't. Like I have to take care of a real sick little kid and her younger sister. So I've been trying for a while to think of a way, and I can do my postering. That's one thing that I've just always done. That's like 10 years now of hanging up posters. But the lo-fi solution to the sci-fi problem is this guy right here. Little grocery bag, because a camera can't see through a grocery bag, right? And some people may be willing to take a chainsaw or a hacksaw or whatever to
So you're
chop
just gonna
these
go
things
around
down.
with grocery bags to incentivize the chainsaw. It starts with the grocery bag. It leads to the chainsaw.
Well, I won't be doing any chainsawing myself.
No,
People
but
can
somebody
do
else
whatever
will.
they
It'll be
please.
inspired by the garbage bag, Andrew. I know what you're doing.
But we could literally start like an aggravated littering campaign to put bags on all of these cameras. You know what I mean?
Do you guys understand why I brought this guy around on a Friday? Let's get to the caller. This is the reason why he wants to start a group. I love you, caller. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Michael Santucci, attorney at law from Fort Lauderdale. How are you? I got a really quick comment, and then I gotta go. I gotta get in the car. Just a fun fact. Somebody a couple of years ago challenged these robo, camera tickets somewhere in. They brought the case to the 4th DCA. That's the 4th District Court of Appeals in Florida. And what I'm about to say applies only to Palm Beach and Broward County, because Palm Beach and Broward County is under the 4th Circuit Court of Appeals. Someone got a ticket. They appealed it to the higher court. And the 4th DCA declared those tickets unconstitutional. So they don't give out robo tickets anymore. Or if they do, you challenge them and they get thrown out in Palm Beach and Broward County, with one exception. The city of Boynton Beach, for some reason, has a municipal ordinance that's somehow stuck. So you can get a robo ticket if you're going through Boynton Beach, but Broward,
Coral Springs is using them though.
Palm Beach,
They're announced. Mr. Santiago.
Well, they
Coral
still
Springs
have the cameras.
Huh?
They still have the cameras.
Yeah.
But they cannot give you a ticket, or they, it's not enforceable. For the first year, attorneys were beating them and beating the tickets, but then eventually everybody all the cities came into compliance and kind of stopped giving those robo tickets. There might be some other exceptions by now. This is information from a couple of years ago, but I'm telling you, I'm working on it, but I'm a violator with speed, and I haven't gotten a robo ticket in any of those 2 counties in a long time. But you cross over into Miami-Dade County, you will get those robo tickets.
Okay.
I promise you. But I gotta go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Love you. And good luck with everything with your family. Hope they are. He's got a family member in Venezuela. That's it's just a tragedy what's happened over there in Venezuela. By the way, we will kind of touch into that later in the show. So, so bags over the.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? So tell us about the campaign, and thank you. That's a lawyer telling you that shit. So it's
so I can, in my life situation, I cannot go to jail right now, or at least go to jail for an extended period of time on like a felony destruction charge, right? But a plastic bag put into a public space intentionally is littering. There's no greater charge than littering. You can't get vandalism, in my opinion, right? You can't get vandalism. You can't get destruction of property. The best they could get you for is littering, I think. So I would like to start an aggravated littering campaign, right? Where we get people to just literally go put plastic bags on these cameras. And I think that is, I don't know, it gives people a sense of involvement, right? Because this is something that everybody hates, but there's very few people who are like, I hate this enough that I'm going to go to jail for 10 years because I hate this enough. Yeah. And so I think,
go ahead. I was going to say, I want to dive into it a little bit more because I wanted to ask the lawyer why how the technology works and what really makes it unconstitutional, right? Is it a Fourth Amendment violation that it's unlawful searches and seizures because it's digital mapping the whole area? Why are they wrong?
I know, like with a standard speeding ticket. So I don't know. I believe they're Fourth Amendment violations, right? And I think that's how they take the ground on it. But for a standard speeding ticket, if you get a ticket, go to court to fight it, and that cop doesn't show up, you can get out of that ticket.
Yes.
And what these cameras do is they subvert that process to where your witness is digital. And your witness is this footage, which has no human accuser associated with it. And to me, that should be the biggest part of it. Is it's not only a Fourth Amendment violation, it's a Fourth Amendment violation by a non-human entity. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't even people policing people. This is machines policing people.
This is the beginning of the fucking Skynet right here.
Yeah.
We're not to the Matrix yet. We're still in the first Terminator, guys. Don't worry. The second Terminator, right? When they go back, we're the second Terminator. Couldn't they charge you with interfering with law enforcement though?
Maybe, but
who's the law enforcement? The computer? I am the law.
Right. I don't think so, because there's not an active investigation happening at that site. You know what I mean? Like, it would be different if you went up and put a bag over a police officer's head. Like, you'd probably get in some trouble. Yeah. But this isn't a cop. It's not a human entity. And I know in parts of Ohio, traffic cameras are done in conjunction with police officers, to where if you're going to get a ticket, the cop has to be there and the camera flags you and then the cop pulls you over. So that's how some places in Ohio have gotten around it. But I don't know where the standing is nationwide for this being of a constitutional violation. Like he said, there's specific counties that I'm sure have it. Like he pointed out Broward.
We did talk about a city ordinance, like a city, Boynton, and Boynton is like not too far from me at all.
Well, like all great surveillance shit, all these cameras are owned by private companies, and then the government just buys it. They get around a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Because why? Because they're owned by a private company?
Because it's not technically the government spying on you.
Yeah, it's the corporation violating your rights.
Once again, this is like, where are the libertarians when you need them? Make this argument. Fucking libertarians with their economics. Free market forces. By the way, guys, you're watching Drive Time in the morning. Sorry, only just really quickly. You're watching Drive Time in the morning, guys. We're calling in. We're here with Andrew Zigman. 561-247-2721. We're talking flock cameras now. We'll talk a little bit about what's going down in Venezuela, Colombia. We'll speak about those things. We'll probably touch on what Tulsi Gabbard said, because I got to get Andrew's opinion on him on the situation which she had talked about it. Did you get a chance to see her farewell speech?
No, I was just watching stuff about her like Hindu CIA guru.
Ooh, what was that?
You didn't hear about that? Oh my! So I think it's a really weird hit piece. Like, not that it's not true, but so she was part of a Hindu cult in Tulsi was in Hawaii.
Hindu what?
A Hindu cult.
Yeah, I heard it.
And it's something that is historically
I think it was Christian,
documented.
to be honest with you.
What?
I thought it was Christian.
No, it was Hindu. The guy
her parents were Christian, and then she joined when she changed.
And
religion.
her parents were a part of this too. They were like one of the leading board members and the person that like did the notes and collected the money and kept track of it. Her parents were involved in this since she was a kid, and that's what we knew going into this, that like her parents kind of had this weird association with a cult that she was in as a kid. And then fast forward to 2011, there's emails that her campaign staff has released that showed basically verbatim talking points that this cult leader gave her, that she was then reading out on mainstream news and introducing legislation on the behalf of this guy. And like, I think it's wild. I don't think it's untrue, but it's just it explains Tulsi's route, I guess, through like political society. You know, going from neoliberal to progressive to MAGA to whatever the heck she is now.
Opportunist.
Yeah.
She's always been a fucking opportunist.
Yeah.
Well, was she an opportunist or is she a CIA asset?
Right. Well, she is part of it. So I loved Tulsi, and part of me still wants to love her, just being a person that has followed her story for so long, right? And having like her support for Julian and her support for Edward Snowden and all of those things. But at the same time, she is literally an intelligence officer in the military that has gone to special forces locations and classified war sites all around the world on her tours of duty. She has never blown the whistle on a single thing. She'll piggyback off of people that do, but she has never been like, hey, I'm going to risk my ass. Here is all of this information. You know what I mean? And so, like, to me, that's the part that I always found suspicious, is like, she's anti-war, right? Anti-war, but she's fighting in classified war settings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't trust her. Never trusted her.
No, I mean, it sucks. It's just,
No, I mean, I kind of understand where you're coming from. Though she was one of the people early in the Assange stuff that spoke out, but she got real silent after a while. So
yeah, absolutely.
Her confirmation hearing for the DNI job, when she had to pretty much portray Edwin Snowden and her position on Assad in Syria, like, she had to go along with the imperialists. And that's the whole thing. It's like, well, you got to say that stuff to get in. I'm like, that's not why we supported these people. We supported these people because we wanted them to blow this shit up. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to get rid of the status quo. and her not getting confirmed, telling the truth, what's what, in a nationally televised public hearing is more impactful to the movement of being an anti-imperialist and everything we stand against and trying to change than going along to get along. Because if you go along once, you'll continue to go along. You know, I do believe that she did quit because of her husband. Her husband's a cool dude. I've met him before. Really nice guy. And all in all, it's kind of weird because I do still look at her differently than I do look at a lot of other politicians. If I look at Lindsey Graham, I'm just, what? Fuck you. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care if you fall off a cliff. I don't care if you know what I'm saying? You're just a disgusting, awful human being. I still look at Tulsi like, man, you know, I just don't like the choices you've made. You know, it's like kind of like, I don't know. There's something there. There's something there when the ruling class and the social engineers know how to fucking move a society. They understand how to, you know, that you can get this kind of invested feelings in these people, you know, and it's hard for me to remove that stuff. I can call, I've called her out for her bullshit every time anytime she spewed it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I got a soft spot in my heart for her, man. You know, like she, like in my political development, I guess, since 2016, right? For like 8 of those years, she was on point. You know what I mean? Like going from supporting Bernie to leaving the DNC to running as president to try to like make a change. Like she played it very well. If that's what we were doing was getting played, you know what I mean? But
She
that's
played
where,
the long game, Andrew.
right? But that's where the idea of political projection, you know, comes in. That's one of the methods that I've learned that exists is people like us that believe things place that belief into people that were told support us, and then they don't even have to support that position. We give them mentally that position and then support them because we think that they hold our same values. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that well?
Makes that you explained that very well. You explained it better than you explained flock cameras. Still don't know how those fuckers work. I know how a human being's mind fucking works and everything.
It's like a big net of networked cameras, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's literally a
I just want to know the loophole exactly where it says
Okay.
this is unconstitutional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't know that.
It's filming areas that are there's nothing happening there, and it just has to steady film that area. That's unlawful searches and seizures, I guess, if an infraction is committed there, because why were they filming that area to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Look, I talked about this when I went to Minnesota. And obviously I didn't do any. When I went to Minnesota there, I was trying to get the feelings of the crowd, the supporters, the protesters, all that stuff, right? But what they were doing in Minnesota was all the ICE agents were using the same type of cameras and softwares that they were using in Gaza, which was the digital map and digital fence the whole area. So even if you were not an immigrant, whatever, just a regular citizen, you got your face was profiled, surveilled. It was then logged into a computer. It was taking your image and everything. Same thing. They geofenced the whole fucking city. And now that whole system is set up. And once again, I say this, I say this shit all the time. Whatever the empire does abroad, it will eventually come home and use over here on its citizens, right? The chickens will come home and roost. What's that?
They're testing it. That's what they do. They take it to other countries, test it, and then bring it back here once they perfect it.
Australia.
The chickens, New Zealand. The chickens will come home to roost, and it will be used over here. And those that geofencing, and I think it's called graphite or graphon. I forgot what it is, but it's also used in conjunction with Peter Thiel's company, because Peter Thiel's company stores the data. This is the same type of software they were using to geofence and geomap in Gaza to kill fucking Palestinian children and babies and mothers, right? They bring it to Minnesota, and now they're geofencing the whole area. Well, everybody's arguing about
started during the BLM protests.
Yeah,
because I remember being in Washington, D.C., like literally documenting protests like a day or two before we would have our events. And I would rent scooters because I fucking love motor scooters, right? And if you used like the ride or the lift scooters, you could literally be driving down a road that's a block away from a protest and the scooter shuts itself off. You check your phone, and it literally shows you on their map, okay, this is the active do not enter zone where all of these electrical bikes and things just automatically turn off. And I don't know who was giving them these orders to shut them off at the edge of protests, or a couple, like literally to make you walk 20 minutes to get there after the bike shuts off. But like, to me, that was when I was like, this is fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like
Yo.
one of those first big pushes of like, okay, we're going to use this technology in a way that the people who should care won't, because it's being used against BLM protesters, and then nobody even talked about it.
I mean, my big concern with the flock cameras is it's just data coming out of those cameras. It's how they fucking use that data. Yeah, they might use it now for, quote unquote, violations of the law, like, running a light or whatever. But they can use that data for whatever the fuck they want. These are private companies, and they're not going to be scrutinized the same way.
Absolutely.
So it's not good. We need to get rid of these fucking things. We should not
New
have
license
corporations
plate
spying on
readers. They call them license plate readers, and that's
they're
what
not.
they used
That's
on me.
not what they are.
Those
Sparks
boxes on
privacy
the, so by
concerns
the
in Cool
way,
Springs.
those boxes on the back right up there on top, those are
This here.
they read cell phone signals, they pick up Bluetooth, they pick up Wi-Fi signals. So they're collecting more than just video surveillance, like way more than just video surveillance. So like for like my personal life, they have installed them at two ends of one of the streets that mine intersects with. And I just don't go that way anymore. I don't turn my Bluetooth on when I have to go through the intersection that they're like looking away from. And that's what I would recommend. You can use services like DFlock to actually make GPS routes for you that avoid the cameras specifically. And I don't think it's a permanent solution, but I think it's a way that we can individually push back by just not feeding our data for traveling into them. But it's just expanding. Like, and these things are so easy to install that 2 days ago, they had one looking at an intersection by me that was pointed north. And then just all of a sudden, 2 days later, driving down the highway, I see one of the other cameras now pointed south. I didn't see a construction crew, nobody, so they're sending like one or two people to drive a post, hook a wire up to the thing. And it's like, it has to be like the most convenient fucking thing for these people to install because of how quickly they're putting them in.
Well, the people who are going to say, that these things are necessary. What if there's an accident? We don't know what's going on. Thank God the flock camera was there to record everything. Now we know exactly what happened. What if there was a guy there was an incident, road rage, and this other guy shot this other guy? We were going to put him in jail, but we found out that through the flock camera. I mean, Larry Ellison said on day 2 of Donald Trump's second administration, right, that, in the world in the future, it'll be great. There'll be cameras everywhere, so nothing will be missed. And he can say that out loud, and some people are like, "Yeah, that sounds right." Well, isn't that an infringement on our Fourth Amendment rights? Well, if you're not doing anything wrong, you got nothing to worry about.
Yep, straight mind route right there, for real.
Think about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Because these don't care, right? You could literally be doing nothing wrong, and they will still send you traffic violations. But like, I don't, like, me personally, I'm not going to spend the time going to city council meetings. I'm not going to spend the time going to the county. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it my way because.
Well, can't we do both? If I come to Ohio, can we go to a couple of city council meetings?
I think people should, and it's necessary. But like a lot of places right now are on summer recess from government. So they'll have one meeting at the beginning or end of a month. And like, I'm not going to wait 30 days to go complain about this and then have them be like, yeah, we'll talk about it, and then talk about it.
You got to get a good lawyer ahead of time. So before we start this campaign, because if I go out there and I put fucking a bag, I'm in Florida, and I put a bag over a flock camera, and they're going to charge me with interfering the law. I'm going to yell at you, Andrew.
That's fair. I will actually, I have a friend that I've used that's helped me with like legal situations, specifically with posters before.
Yeah.
And he's like a protest lawyer. He's an environmental lawyer.
I'm going to talk to the lawyer that called in too, by the way. So
yeah, and I would recommend that because everywhere is different for every person too. So like, it may be okay for me in Ohio, but not okay for you in Kentucky. You know what I mean? Or it's okay here by Cleveland, but not okay by Cincinnati. So very much like figure out what is okay
Yeah.
for you. But I personally, I'm cool with breaking them, but I'm not going to do that. And I want, I'm going to put that out there that I don't recommend people do that. But I don't think we're in a situation where people care about the law in that way. You know what I mean? And
So
I
look at this real quick, though. I got you to answer. I want you to answer. I don't mean to cut you off, but this is
yeah,
very
no.
important. Coral Springs residents are raising the alarm about flock cameras recently installed around the city. The license plate readers, purchased with a state grant, now cover all major roads leading into and out of Coral Springs, can be found across Broward County. Who's paying for the grant? Are the grants coming out of our tax money? A state grant. So we're paying for our fucking own. We're paying for them. They're putting you in a prison, a digital prison, and they're making you pay for it.
Do you know who is in Broward County?
What do you mean, who?
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Of course, I know that.
Yeah. So to me, they are protecting, like with this story, with them all over Broward County, they are protecting that political interest. That's how I feel, right? Like I don't have direct evidence. I can't prove that in any way. But if Debbie Wasserman Schultz's congressional territory is now completely flocked, that's a form of political control. Because when the time comes and it's election season, they know who went to what poll station simply because of these cameras. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No. It was funny because they were trying to also, at one point before the flock cameras were getting in there, remember the drop boxes? They talked about putting cameras all over drop boxes. I'm like, guys, they're geofencing the whole fucking, they're going to put these drop boxes out in the middle where there's nobody and put a camera out there so they got a camera on you. Fuck that shit. It asked, what are flock cameras? And this is while some have argued that they help solve crimes more quickly, like I just told you that, right, Andrew, right? Others have shared stories about their abuse. Here's what to know. What are flock cameras? When I first heard about it, I thought it was Flocka Waka, who's got this brand new camera that on your phone, right? Flock cameras are interconnected, automated license plate readers used by police departments and businesses across the United States. Devices snap a picture of every license plate that passes by and runs them through an extensive database of crime reports and information requests. In its parent company, Flock Safety. This is the independent company that Sleepy J talks about.
This is the most dystopian fucking statement I've ever read.
Its parent company, Flock Safety, I like the air quotes, safety, aims to eliminate all crime through surveillance tech and has reached $8.4 billion and an $8.4 billion valuation.
All paid for by the government.
Yep.
Where they get all their money.
Well,
you.
To be fair, they showed up first at Lowe's and Home Depot, at least locally. And there was a time before the cameras got installed, I don't know if anyone remembers this, where you would have these big dumb generators that had like the fucking flagpole with like the 8 cameras on top of it and the floodlights. And I didn't know where those came from, and I still don't. But to me, that feels like the infancy version, because those used to be almost exclusively in Lowe's and Home Depot parking lots. And then they disappeared and flock cameras showed up in place of them. Like I don't even go to my local hardware stores anymore. I literally have to drive miles and miles to go to a store that doesn't fucking point license plate readers at my car when I drive into their parking lot.
By the way, the last sentence says critics say the products used to catapult the companies to success aren't making life safer. Instead, they say the devices are being used to violate Americans' fundamental rights. And in that most dystopian comment, I'm going to read it again. Its parent company, Flock Safety, aims to eliminate all crime through surveillance tech and has reached $8.4 billion.
War is peace.
Right? Because so what that says to me is the cameras are the start of what Flock wants to do. And it, like, I just have this feeling that they're going to move into drones, and you're going to have fucking drones that just fly around your city and monitor you. You know what I mean? Because we're getting there. Police officers already have them. What difference does it make if the state writes a grant to Flock drones and they fly all over and the police can monitor those in real time? They would have their own charging bays they could land in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Flock camera.
That sucks up the joy and freedom out of society.
I think I'm gonna go. We have to go find some. I'm sure there's been city council meetings that people have been talking about flock cameras.
Mm-hmm.
All over. We should start taking a look at those, and I think we need to start that. You know what? I can get behind that campaign. I think that's something that's important.
Absolutely, 110%. I think everyone should.
Y'all ready to do this with Andrew? I'm ready.
I'm ready. I got to do something.
I'm gonna go to the police station right after this show, and I'm gonna ask them, are you using flock cameras?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to find out when this next city council meeting is.
You can file FOIA requests of your local government, so you can get the information that they've collected and used with the flock cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You
just file a FOIA request. There's some websites that can help people with it, or if you have like a lawyer friend or something, you can literally. I don't know the exact process, but you just file FOIA paperwork and turn it in with the right people. It may turn into a court case. Most of them do, but I think it's at least worth an attempt because it puts them on blast and it scares people. You know what I mean?
I like this comment.
Flock this. Like, I'm just going to have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like,
so you got to go flock this.
Like, I'm going to, like, the last thing.
And he's going to have signs like 25 feet high up because he rolls like that.
I know. Andrew climbs up the tree like a gnome.
So if you want to know what the method will be, do you know those grabby claw hands?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're using those?
Yeah. So I'm going to get 2 of them, and I'm going to hold the side of the bag with each of them and put it over. And you can get ones that are about 3 feet long. And as a 6-foot person, that's all I need to get that bag over that camera lens.
And you think it's only going to be a littering charge?
That's going to be my argument, is that it's going to be a littering charge. If they try to hit me with anything else, I'd be like, I'll plead guilty to littering. Like, you can charge me $750 per bag. You know what I mean?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think people should litter. I think littering's bad, but I think littering can be used for good.
In this case, absolutely. In this case.
But no, people really should get involved with their cities. If you have a flock camera that's shown up, you should absolutely go to your city council. You should. And the best way to go to your city council, like, you can go to the meetings for the like fun value of it, but really sending people emails, calling them and talking to them, like, because they are humans, like, at the end of the day. And like, I enjoy going to city council meetings and yelling at people. Like, I just get some like my rocks off with it. But honestly, to have an actual conversation with your city council people, you usually have to do it via email.
Yeah.
But I think people should go, absolutely, because then you get to see what happens when you try to resist through city council. Like, me personally, every time I've gone to a city council, they just stop posting the videos online. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that they have to. In most of your places, they're supposed to have it streamed online and then reposted. Like, they're supposed to have that there. That once again, to stop doing that can be argued that's unconstitutional too.
And then you can start calling state agencies on these local officials that have stopped putting up the videos, and then they get put on blast from the state that these things have to go up, and you can just create this whole like bullshit spiral for them, basically, that they have to deal with.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you go to a city council you go to a city council meeting and you get the footage, give us the link. I can at least cut that up. We'll put you on the show.
Absolutely.
If you're sitting there yelling at a city council for anything, let alone flock cameras, we'll do that. That's a new rule today. Write it down. You go to a city council meeting, send us the link, let us see it, and we'll play you. We'll play you on the show. Did you see what's going on in Venezuela?
I have not. I have not seen the latest on Venezuela. I would love to hear about it, though.
Well,
that 2 earthquakes, man, big ones.
Yes. And I haven't looked too much. I don't know if anybody's blaming the Jews, but I did see a couple comments out there.
It tore up the Capitol.
Earthquakes are banned.
Somebody turned HARP on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They were both over 7. So I mean,
yeah, there was 7.5 and a 7.2, and shit came crumbling down.
That's like Loma Prieta, man. That's rough.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's horrifying for real. I couldn't like in Ohio we don't really get earthquakes, but I couldn't imagine fucking living through something like that, especially getting hit by 2 that are that big. Because
Huge.
it's not just one.
Dude,
Like, you get hit by
in-
the 7, and then there's a 5 and a 3 and a 2.
In
that follow.
'89, I was 90 miles away, and we felt it there. Like
Yeah.
really felt it. It fucked up buildings. All it like lit San Francisco on fire. Like it was nuts, man.
Yeah, I remember that. They canceled one of the
nuts.
World Series games. Only one person went running out to center field, and then all of a sudden everybody followed him. Like, what's he doing? He knows what he's doing. Somebody read the earthquake safety protocols. Like, one player went sprinting out to center field, and all the other players saw him and started running there. He's like, get the fuck out of the dugout,
But yeah,
Like,
they're
very
not
bothered.
necessarily set up for like big earthquakes. Even in '89, there was some earthquake safety in the Bay Area, but so I mean, a croc is just it looks like a fucking war zone, man. It's all kinds of fucked up buildings, like half collapsed, and a bunch of people missing. It's not good.
Let's get on to
Prayers for all those peoples.
Yeah, let's get on to some. I marked a couple yesterday. Let me see. By the way, they're still going nuts in Albania.
I know.
Still.
I've been watching that.
I love them.
And it's going so nuts that it's not even like, don't buy this island. It's like, you're not our government anymore. Like,
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
real.
wow, who knew the Albanians would be like more hardcore than the French protesters?
Right.
They raised their gas like 0.8 cents.
for real.
All right, let's change the banner. Let's put something up for earthquake in Venezuela, so we can in the banner, so we can get that up. No more flock cameras, flocka. But here's some footage. Man, there's over 1,000 dead. It's I've heard stories out there. It's pretty bad. That's really
horrible.
bad. Here we go. That's crazy.
Marico, mi mamá, huevón. Mi mamá. Marico. Mi mamá. Chamo, vamos. A buscarla. Chamo María, huevón. Marico María. Ya va. Por aquí ven. Ven.
Man, these poor people.
I like stuff like this just breaks my heart because I could imagine being in this situation, fucking trying to run into a broken down building to try to find my kids. You know what I mean? Like, like stuff like that just hits me so much differently now.
Let me see what else I have. I had another one. I mean, this just shows. Oh, you're awesome. Somebody just brought me coffee. Thank you, Rose. Go the other way. Yeah, very easy. Thank you, sweetheart. Here, hold on. Appreciate it. Gracias, Rose. Sac base. We speak Creole here when we say hello. Let me show you this one. Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. I hit the stop sharing button. Remember your first day of work?
While you're pulling it up, it is banned in the Geneva Convention to generate earthquakes or weather events as weapons of war.
That's
So,
fucking in there?
It is. It actually is. Yeah. And there's
Gee, I wonder why.
Law to start earthquake, pal. Hold on. Here we go. His parts. Just take a look real quick. That's crazy. Look at it. Look at it.
That's crazy,
Holy
man.
cow.
That's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like that's like 30 years of rebuilding.
Mira los delfines, mira. Y mira cómo se cayeron todas las paredes del frente. Marico, esto es una impresionante, mira esto. Ay, Dios mío, la gente.
Parece una guerra.
Man, that's a lot of damage.
That's crazy, man.
Dirección,
And that's the capital.
edificio oficial.
I think so.
Ah, huevona.
I think it's right outside Caracas.
Yeah. I mean, that picture right there fucking says it all, man. Like, that's horrifying. Like, imagine driving into a city and seeing it look like that. Like,
Yeah, it's
you would think the world is literally ending around you, you know?
Quakes are freaky, man.
I think I have one more. I'm not sure. I can. We can just look up Venezuela. It's all over the internets now. And
do we know of any like actual good groups that people could donate to help? I know that there's always like a million fucking scam groups and GoFundMe's and shit, but is there like, do you know of any or anyone out there that you might be able to find something for?
Yeah, I do not.
Certainly something we could look into.
Yeah, I you know what I recommended for people when I was in, holy shit. I mean, this is like, look at this one real quick, guys. Look at this one.
Oh, wow.
Venezuela does not need loud headlines right now. It needs rescue, calm, and information that does not outrun the truth. The aftershocks are not over. People come before numbers. And this is 9 seconds. Look at the size of this building and look at this thing. The size of the building I'm in right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and the aftershocks are honestly worse than the fucking main thing because the main thing loosens it and the aftershocks fucking demolish it.
I mean, those are
Quake's that big. I mean, they can, your foundation can be done, and then your building's gone.
Yeah.
God, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's people. Like there are humans in that building. Like that's fucking heartbreaking.
That reminds me of that I think it was the 90s when that LA quake hit, and it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
You had like freeways like buckling and shit, like double-decker freeways and shit.
How's everything out by you, Josh? I know you had a lot of big storms and everything come through.
It's gonna be stormy today. It's constant, man. We
hasn't stopped by you. It's ridiculous.
We've got more tornadoes this year than anywhere else in Tornado Alley. So we are Tornado Alley now.
So this one here, I don't know if this is, and guys, if you're listening and not watching the show, you can hear the earthquakes. What you're hearing are the sounds of buildings coming down, the place shaking. One of the videos, there was a father running around looking for his daughters and his mother, right? Just cursing like, "Holy shit, where's my family?" We've heard there's over 1,000 people are already dead. I don't know what's to become of this situation. I mean, I know in some of those buildings that's all fucked up. It's going to take a while for, rescue helpers or whatever to go in there and retrieve stuff out of those buildings. But those buildings people can't live in anymore. Can the Chinese come in and help fucking just build their big cities that they don't?
Can I put a guess out there?
Go ahead.
So we've recently overthrown Venezuela, right? Like we went in, stole their guy.
We have not overthrown Venezuela.
Well, we stole their president and put someone in that the vice president.
Same party though, same party. So it's kind of a little wonky, right? So it's not like your everyday average. The other 100 coups where we said you're out, you're in. We were like, you're out. I guess we'll take you and figure it out.
It's like if someone kidnapped Donald Trump and JD Vance became president. But I think BlackRock's going to go in. Like that would be a big tell of how these earthquake happens is depending on who's fighting to rebuild it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like maybe this is all, but we're going to use the heart machine. I was told by the people above me, we're going to use the heart machine, clear it out. Let us borrow Nicholas for about 7 months. We'll bring him back. Dude, on Kalshi and Polymart, there are good odds. Not good odds, excuse me. Low odds. That Nicolas Maduro will be back in power in the beginning of 2027. It's not like you would think that I should get 4-1 on that. It's like 160 to 100, like plus 160, meaning you win an extra $60 on a $100 bet. That's not crazy. That's not like for a guy who's sitting in Brooklyn in a fucking prison right now, for him to be back in power. That's like, whoa. let's play this last video, and then we'll. And you're right. It's like maybe at one point the Chinese were going to be able to come in there. Now, since the United States has got their meat hooks, the IMF is going back into Venezuela. It's already back in there. Maybe BlackRock comes and does. It's great.
Or some subsidiary. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be BlackRock themselves. They own
some Western multinational corporation. The fascism. Here we are.
Mierda, weón. Qué lo que era, weón.
You hear people just screaming. Look at that building. So that building held together, but
for how long? You know what I mean? That's what I'd be terrified of.
Maybe the aftershock's coming. I don't know. Maybe that was the first one. Maybe that was the second one. I don't know. This guy's just running. Look at that. Foundation.
Mierda, weón.
Oh my God.
Qué locura es esta mierda,
The
weón.
bottom of that building is gone.
Acabó con el edificio.
I heard mierda, which is shit.
Got a call coming in.
All right, let's hold on 1 second, caller. That's just fucking nuts.
Right. That's insane. Hello?
Look at the bottom there.
Yeah, every
Give us 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Look at the bottom there. All right, let's get to the caller.
Hello.
Who are you, caller, and where are you calling from?
My name is Sadie Yaga, and I live in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm an Army veteran, and I wanted to say I appreciate you guys. Like TruthWire, I've been following you guys since September of 2024.
What's your name, by the way?
Seydou Yagu. So I'm from
Seydou?
West Africa, Senegal. So
Oh, nice.
Seydou Yagu. Yeah.
Seydou.
So I was saying I like you guys. Nico House, Spiriella, Pasta, Judge, Kyle, who is it? Lieutenant Colonel Cal Koleski. I appreciate you guys so much. Speaking of, exposing the imperialist agenda. And like I've been aware since COVID because I feel like COVID was a pandemic. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
I was watching a video. I was watching a video between you and Matt. Like it is not a lap leak. They released it on purpose. They released it on purpose because it was part of Agenda 2030, which I know you're aware of. Trend humanism, 15-minute cities, digital ID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Fauci
Flock
was definitely
cameras.
a puppet.
Flock.
Yeah.
COVID led to flock cameras.
And I agree. And the you know what was killing people, like the mRNA, it was causing myocarditis, heart attack. So that time I was in New York City, so I ain't taking. So I came from a libertarian background, but now I associate myself more with anti-imperialists. I left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that time, so that time I got radicalized by, the right-wing media, with COVID, which they were not wrong about COVID, though. COVID was definitely a pandemic for their agenda. It was about population control, and it was said that you had a lot of people that went along with the vax mandate, which was unconstitutional and illegal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where exactly is your family from, by the way?
Senegal, West Africa.
Senegal. Okay. Did they make it onto the next round of the World Cup? I know they won a game, right? Are they going to the knockout round?
As far as I'm tracking, I have no idea, but I heard right now, like the Trump administration been denying people left and right with the visa. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the number one.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying the number one FIFA referee in Africa from Ethiopia was denied when he got to the United States. He didn't even work the games here. It was terrible that they did that. But yes, they've been like, and they held some Iranians. They wouldn't let them in to the United States. So the coaches were stuck in Mexico. It was some crazy stuff. But I think Senegal, they're going on to the next round. But that's just fun stuff. I really love that you have you ever been to Africa? Back to Africa? Have you been to Senegal? Has it been a while? And what?
Yeah.
What it's like there.
So I had last time I've been there was 2018. So I said like family is very family orientated, and you know what I mean. It's a different way of living. You know, a lot of people there are like they live like more. They're not really, you know, it's not like how Americans are. Like a lot of them, they own their house. You know what I mean? They don't have to pay like extra costs like healthcare like here in America because you know capitalism. Like
Yeah.
and I'm glad Americans are realizing capitalism is a disaster because you know when I was back in the libertarian side, you know, I was starting to like break away from it because that party got compromised with, you know, the same thing with the Democrat Party with neoliberalism, Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan. Like I tell people this, like I can't stand Trump, but he's a symptom of the empire. Even if he's gone, we're still gonna deal with the imperialism from the Democrat side. You know what I mean? We know about the Obama years, genocide, Joe. Like I'm aware about the neoliberal war hawkish too. So yeah.
Yeah. So what do we do if the Libertarian Party is now shite? The Green Party is pretty much shite. The Democrats and the Republicans, we know who they are. So what's your solution?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. What do you think? What do we do moving forward?
So my solution is just keep people informed. You know, also speak to people we disagree with. You know, liberals and conservative. You know, and hopefully they wake up and understand that it's up versus down, and hopefully they understand socialism and communism is not totalitarian because all that anti-socialism and communist is CIA propaganda. You know what I mean? Because the reason why the CIA was populating countries that were socialist because they knew socialism was better than capitalism. So we know what they did to Cuba, Vietnam, Argentina. You know, just to name a few. They fund the death squads, and also like the xenophobia needs to stop. It's like a lot. For example, these conservatives, they need to understand the reason why people come to America is the U.S. government bomb and destabilize their country. War, sanction creates refugees. Correct?
You know, I can let you do the show today, baby, and just sit back and smile because everything that I say, you're kind of bringing some information to light. Especially when you're a person from, you know, the Senegal and whatnot, you can explain that's going on. A lot of people don't realize Obama's role and how he expanded AFRICOM during his presidency. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was.
So the part that I think's crazy, right, is like, and not even in a bad way, but like the way that you described the situation for Senegal, Africa. Like, most people own their homes. Like.
Even in a poor country where shit's
right.
you know
like
hard
in America,
to buy,
we don't know shit.
you got more fucking rights over there than you do over here.
Right. And so like I think that's in a way good. But the other thing I'll say is about like I'm not a capitalist per se, like in the sense of like how people define the word nowadays. But I think that the anti-capitalist push is also now CIA propaganda. Because the post-capitalist world that they're building is the digital ID, flock surveillance, 15-minute city infrastructure.
It's a technocracy.
Yeah. And that's what they're going to replace capitalism with. And that's why they want people in general to hate it. Because like I have friends that have hated like the blue hair DEI movement, like talk shit about like all these liberals, communists, right? And now he's like, bro, I think capitalism's a problem. And I'm like, yes, but where it leads is worse because like I only work for small businesses when I have jobs, right? And like you can still go out and start a contracting company. You can do construction, right? You could literally go out and sell hot dogs. And like to me, that's what capitalism is. And that's what they're going to take away, right? The end of capitalism isn't going to hurt the multinational corporations that already own every department of government and politician. It's going to hurt the people that are like, hey, I'm running a construction company. We do.
It's going to hurt small markets. It's going to hurt small markets. And that's the thing and when people go, oh, I markets, when I try to explain to people like, all right, so socialism in Nicaragua, they had all these infrastructure projects where the government was in charge of building all these roads, railroads, buses, all that kind of thing. As they completed their projects and they're starting to, build more roads and whatnot, markets are opening. Now a guy who it used to take him 3 days to get to the capital, right, from the ocean can't sell the exquisite fish that's not caught on boats or whatever and stuff like that because the fish will be dead by the time he gets there. Now it takes him a day to get there because the roads are built. So now he can throw a couple coolers in his truck with all these fish and drive it. Now a market has opened. People who think that socialism, right, when you talk about socialism abroad, you know, they think it's just more about controlled entities, that it's an overlooking government that's listening to everything you have to say and whatnot. No, that is not the case. You know what I'm saying? Markets still exist in socialist societies. Do they have healthcare for all in Senegal? Is healthcare free? Is it Saido? Or do I say SAIDO?
It's Saido. So like that's like that I'm not really aware of, but one thing I'm aware of, my mom told me it's not like crazy expensive as here, and also like neocolonialism is still a thing because because I was having a conversation with somebody. I'll tell them the reason why Africa is still poor is because of the IMF, which Gaddafi got rid of, which under Obama, him and Warhawk Hillary Clinton, they turned Libya into a slave state after he broke away from the IMF.
And I wouldn't even say that Africa's poor. I would say that Africa's looted. Like it's the most mineral-rich country in the entire world.
Overexploitation. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been setting for. And this is why Donald Trump was perfect for to be the president right now for the elites, because when you look at Latin America and he can get all his little cronies, we hate communism, and they know that he's down here in South Florida, right? Where this is Gusano Central. This is where every single ex-Cuban that was thrown out of that country, every Venezuelan that was thrown out of that fucking country, they live over here, right? And they've grown up for quite some time. So they built a community of just being anti-socialist, anti-communist, but it's really just anti-government. They were pissed off that they had their lands seized and appropriated by the governments and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And these are their children that are living there. But what's really cool is seeing some of their children's children starting to push back on them, like being like pro-socialist and like, fuck that shit. I mean, I was at a Bernie rally. It was in 2015, and it was called Bicentennial Park in Miami. And I saw like 3 people. Yeah, they had this sign that said Cubans for Bernie. And they were in the street like this. And their parents were driving around the block constantly going, puta, and just screaming and cursing. And they were just like, how can you go to socialism? They were screaming at their fucking children, and their children were like screaming back, Cubans for Bernie. And they're like, how could you like socialism? Mierda, screaming. And like it was some good shit. So we do have some of that going on right now. But I am glad that people are kind of waking up to what's going on. But communism and socialism still does have a very, very dirty name. And I think when you say capitalism is awful, that you kind of tell people that they can't have, they equate capitalism to freedom of choice. So when you say I'm an anti-capitalist, they think that immediately you want state-controlled markets rather than freedom of choice. You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening 100%. Well, it's the Red Scare tactic that been fed to Americans during the Cold War, saying that, if we live under communism, blah, 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 we're going to live under tyranny, which is BS. And what's happening right now is fascism. It's not, you got a lot of these conservatives that say, this is communism. No, this is fascism.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know.
It's like Mussolini style, the merger of state and corporation.
Yeah.
Correct.
And as an Italian man, I can confirm that what he said is true.
And
also,
as
an Italian man and not a pacifist, I got to
version.
also say that sometimes that behavior of straightening shit out by hanging that motherfucker up over there might work. Sorry, Andrew. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, like, we've been at the point of having our states and corporations merged for the better part of 50 years, right? And so what we're entering now is, like, I don't want to call it post-fascism, but it's the next step after, right? So, like, we're
totalitarianism.
We're entering neo-feudalism at this point. And, like, I've been trying to explain that to my friend who's just started hating capitalism. I'm like, you're right if this was 1926. But in 2026, there are so many more technological advances that shrink the class of people that have access to, like, actual power, that it's moving past fascism and into something way worse.
Yeah. Well, right
It
now, what's
definitely
really
is.
scary is, by the way, and I'll give you the next word, Sato. Am I saying your name right? I want to. Can you spell it for me? Because I want to say it right.
Seydou. Seydou. You'll get it. Seydou.
Seydou.
Yes. Seydou. Yes.
Seydou.
Seydou.
Seydou. I got that right. Where are you calling from, by the way? You in what state?
He's an Ohio boy.
I'm in Ohio right now.
You're near Andrew.
Yeah.
You should go on the garbage
Yeah.
bag campaign with him, man.
Most
Seydou, you
definitely.
got to go. Seydou, you got to go to city
Go ahead.
council and fucking give him hell. We'll play it on the show, Seydou. We'll be like, this is
Most
Seydou in
definitely. And
Ohio giving him fucking shit. Let's go.
Man, I've been knowing this for 6 years because, you know, I also, anything they label a conspiracy theories, a lot of it is true, you know, because we know 9/11 was a false flag, you know, with Greater Israel to destabilize the Middle East. And I would say, like, I was never a Trumper. Like, I voted for Chase Oliver because
Me too.
I knew Kamala Harris and Trump, they were not gonna get us any better. Like the Democrats, like, in my opinion, their whole purpose is just to lose on purpose. You know, you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's two arms of the same beast, right? Like, one hand slaps you, and then you're like, I like the left hand. And the left hand slaps you, you're like, I like the right hand. You know?
Yes.
True.
Yes, it is. It is disgusting. And I'm tracking that, like, they installing data centers all over Ohio lately. Because I found out the Jimmy Dore.
Have you read the TechNate Ohio piece by Whitney Webb?
Whitney Webb? I heard about it, but
so basically, like, our situation here in Ohio is that over the last 40 years or 50 years, Les Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein literally took over and to this day still run Ohio.
Yeah.
And she makes a really good case of laying out how this happened and how we got here. So I think that's
she's got to condense her books, though. She's got fucking, like, goddamn, like, you know,
what we need, and like, I'm bad at it.
Books, you know,
we need, like, our own version of Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? So, like, in science, you have the people who do the science, and then you have the people who have the degrees that are able to communicate the science, right? And, like, for us, I feel like we're the people that, like, know the science, but, like, we have this barrier to where we don't have people who are as good as like scientific communicators at laying out these points. And I'm guilty of it. Like, my communication skills aren't the greatest in the world.
Yeah, I'm awful at that shit too.
Yeah, I think that's something
I'm getting better.
Sorry?
Yes, most definitely. I agree.
You know, it's funny with
like. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Speak.
So, like I was saying, social media also been a good tool, you know, because a lot of people are learning a lot of stuff. Like, and also one thing, how much I can't stand Trump. One thing I could say about him, he is so open about the war crimes. Remember, he says we won the gold in Venezuela. We knew he was blowing up fishing boats. You know what I mean? Like, the worst one is he bombed the school in Iran. Like, that broke my heart. Like, that, he took it too far. He took out the supreme leader. Oh my God, it's like horrible. And the reason we know why they took out General Qasem Soleimani, because he was ISIS. I call him ISIS killer because he wiped them out the region.
Yeah.
And also, when I speak with go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. I was agreeing with you.
Oh yeah. So when I speak to a lot of these anti-Iranian, you know, people, I tell them, you want to know why Iran hates America so much? Because look back in the 50s, doing Operation Ajax, Mohammed Mossadegh, he wanted his resources to benefit his country, but you know, Eisenhower sent the CIA, the top of his government. Then we had the Shah, which was a Western-backed dictator, and that caused the rise of the Ayatollah. And also Saddam Hussein, we used him to invade Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, back then he was a boy. Then, you know.
Yeah, they got the pictures with Saddam Hussein and Rumsfeld all smiling together and stuff. When they were using him as a proxy to kill Iranians, it was all good. Chemical weapons. It's like, yeah, we know he has chemical weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons. We gave them to him. So it was like one of those things.
Yes.
Yeah. I got to tell you something, Seydou, though, it's funny because we voted for the. I'm sorry.
The history of Iran before the U.S. got involved. You literally have videos of Queen Elizabeth as a young child throwing bread at Iranian children like they're fucking ducks. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
that's terrible.
so,
That's terrible.
so like their country has been was occupied for hundreds of years. Like the British
Oh
went
yeah,
in
they
there.
don't like the British, man.
Yeah, the British went in there and started
I-
sucking the oil out. That's where BP came from, was Iran.
Yep.
That was Iranian oil, you know? And so, like, not only is it they don't like America because we fucked with them for so long, they don't like the West in general because of how fucking terrible this side of the world has treated them.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And when you look at the Ukraine war, it's a NATO proxy war, because in 2014, you know, we had the coup that overthrew like the Democratic elected president, and because, you know, I think USA Aid had the money had ties to that, the regime change in Ukraine, because, you know, the Donbass region, they're ethnically cleansing Russians. We've been known that been going on for years. So that's what triggered the war in February of 2022. It's actually NATO who caused the war, and Zelensky is a CIA puppet. You know what I mean?
Well, let's examine some of the stuff you've been talking about, Sadhu. First of all, I want to say that I voted for Chase Oliver too, and the reasons why I voted for him it should have been his campaign slogan, right? It was, at least he's not a Zionist. Chase Oliver.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not. That's why he got my vote. I'm like, yes.
I was at that convention. I saw the debates. I watched the whole process take place. And even though they got the wrong guy for the mainstream that they wanted to really push, and this is a problem with the Mises Caucus, because they aren't like, you need personable people who can reach out and build bridges of peace, right? And they don't have that in the Mises Caucus. They came through like a bulldozer, we're taking over, which enraged a lot of the party itself, the Libertarian Party itself. So they were pushing Chase Oliver not as a way to pick a candidate they want, but just simply to fuck the Mises Caucus over and not pick their guy, Mike Rectenwall. Like, it was, you know what I'm saying? I know our guy David Crow loves Mike Rectenwall. But yeah, I mean, it was a shame that happened. But from what I saw, it was actually the best vessel and had the best system as far as choosing a candidate and not what's going on. It's a shame that Angela McArdle, who was the chair of the party, decided to go become a Trumper instead and do fundraisers for fucking Donald Trump that, you know, people showed up for that should have never showed up for, just because there was a bunch of popular, famous people there. But we won't talk about that. But she kind of fucking, you know, ruined the party, because in a way, as a third party, the one rule is we don't support the two-party duopoly. And a lot of other people in the Libertarian brass did the same thing. So they just fucked everything over. Not to mention that their economics sucked. Sadhu talked about that. But let's just really talk really quickly before we get you out of here, because I think we do have a caller in the queue, Sadhu. But your thoughts when you were talking about the Democratic Party and what has happened in Ukraine, and it was a proxy war. We understand this. We have videotapes of Victoria Nuland saying "fuck the EU," picking the next leader. Here we are. We have the Democrats that are coming back. We actually have people who are fronting, like grassroots Democrats, that are still supportive of the Ukraine war in Russia. And I can't understand. We don't have one Democrat in Congress that is saying that we should stop funding this war. They're all for it, and they're still pushing it. How the fuck are they getting away with this? Right? They're being pro-imperialist, and they're camouflaging themselves and trying to compare Ukraine to Gaza. It's crazy in my mind.
I agree, and let me tell you why. The reason why they're pushing, because a lot of Democrats, they're brainwashed. If they really look at the truth about Ukraine, it's like, not the people of Ukraine, their government is very corrupt. Like, the oligarchs sold them to NATO, and we know about the biolabs, you know, with the Biden crime family, and Tulsi made that BS speech. I used to like Tulsi years ago, but she's compromised. Like, she's full-blown compromised. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I know about the Azov battalion. Yes, yeah. I watched the UN Mat, the homeless left. So the Azov battalion, which we know neo-Nazis in Ukraine. And like me, I don't believe in the Russia. The Russiagate was a psyop. You know what I mean? It's actually Israelgate. Israel and AIPAC won our politicians in America, not Russia. That Russiagate was BS. You know, I don't believe in the Russia phobia. Not at all.
Say,
never
dude,
been there,
you're
but
gonna be a regular on this show. Say, dude, you align with us on all this stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
and what
glad
I
you're
would like
hanging
to
out for
say
2024. Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
for real, Fadu, I appreciate you because the whole
Thank
point
you.
of this isn't for me and Craig to talk because we're bros, but it's for us to talk with other people and have other people share
Right.
what they think with us. You know what I mean? So like I really appreciate you calling in for real.
I'm just praying to God.
First time.
I'm saying,
We need
Lord,
Go ahead.
We
please
need a little
don't make
Rush
Say
Limbaugh
do
bell. Can you get
what
us
I'm
a bell
saying.
sound effect, Josh, for when we get first time callers?
What kind
I'll
of
work
bell?
on it.
Yeah, we also need to get a couple sub. I can't forget. We also need.
I've got a
what
couple
else?
I keep meaning to cut up.
Yeah, we got to get a couple. And you haven't been using them. You got to get better on that, Josh. Drink your Mountain Dew and use some of the.
I don't
buttons.
have any. I got burned on my Mountain Dew today.
You got a stale Well, you shouldn't be drinking Mountain Dew anyways, fuckface. I love you. I'm praying to God. There you go.
Yeah.
I can.
Like I was saying, I'm glad I came from the libertarian perspective. Go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I just want to say I'm praying that you're not a CIA agent and that you're for real. That's
No,
what I'm hoping to God,
I'm not.
man.
I'm not. If you met me in person, you're genuinely realize that I'm not. Because I'm 24 years old. I used to be in the army, serving the military industrial complex, which I'm not proud of, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, but I'm not a CIA agent, most definitely. And I have another friend
some
from
CIA
New Hampshire.
agent would say, bro.
He's very libertarian. So I met him during COVID 1984 during the lockdown because I ain't take the I'm not gonna say the because I don't want to get your YouTube censored because it was like I said, it was part of
the boop
Agenda 2030. Yes, but
I like
back
boop.
then. So back then, I never knew there were people on the left who was against it because I feel like that's what pushed me to be more aligned with libertarians back then. Then I realized I'm like the Libertarian Party is compromised. You know what I mean? They're going against their principle because a lot of them are low-key conservative, like the redhead libertarian. She's an op. Dave Smith. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dave Smith. I used to like him. Larry Sharp, he's still I realize I have more common with people on the actual left because the synthetic left, the NATO left, liberals, they're also not the left. They're also they're center right, but they think they're left. They're not left.
That's why I don't appreciate the labels anymore. It's all become so damn meaningless.
Pointless. It's so fake. It's so fake. Like me, I believe in collectivism.
Collectivism.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just that Americans are against collectivists. I'm like, if they really look the true definition, they'd be like, holy cow.
I think that's part of the reason they've spent so many decades destroying our family and community systems here, and now we're all isolated because you don't have these problems when you have actual communities.
Yes, and also what's dangerous? You guys know about the JQ media, about the woke right, say, or the Nick Fuentes, the Stu Peters, the Ding Bazarian, who else? The Jake Shield, the Candace Owens, those people, we gotta watch them too, because anyone who's spreading it's the Jays, they're dangerous because they're proving the Zionist point. Judaism does not represent Zionism. Zionism is a separate ideology. The issue is Rothschild Zionism, because there's more Jewish people who's against Zionists than Christian Zionists. They don't want to talk about that.
So there's more Christian Zionists than actual Zionists.
Than actual Christians.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's not.
That's why I don't watch
implying that they're fake
those
Christians.
people who I mentioned. I'm aware of them, but I don't watch them because they're radicalizing a lot of these young kids, and a lot of these young kids will think that it's the Jews who run everything, which is a psyop itself. No, it's the Rothschild. It's the secret societies, the Vatican, the black nobility.
Yeah,
and a lot of evangelical Christians. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say I believe Seydu is definitely CIA. He's agreeing on everything I agree with. Talking, he's here to win me over. He's here to win me over and get confidence. But I like this guy, and then he's going to end up. I don't know what the CIA has. I was hoping, Seydu, that the CIA was going to send a hot Russian broad instead of a black man.
I'm not a CIA agent.
To kill me.
I'm not.
I don't mean
CIA.
to be. sexist or racist,
I know
but I
you're
was hoping
joking.
that you were going to be a beautiful blonde Russian, not a black Senegal man. Senegalese is it? How do you say it? Senegalese or
Senegalese.
a Senegalese man? This is
Senegalese.
what the CIA sends to kill me.
So that's how you know he's
Nah,
not a CIA.
Nah,
Because they know how to get you now,
talking
Pasta.
My exact points about the
Exactly.
whole Jewish, and then we have my friend David Crow, who's in there, who we have these arguments, and we have Exile, the Knights of Malta, who didn't show up the fucking other day while we were talking about this, and all those people that you talked about, the Candace Owens, the Nick Fuentes, the Dan Bilzerian, who calls Randy Fine a fat Jew, and that's what that makes Randy Fine bad. What makes Randy Fine bad is he's a fat Zionist, not a fat Jew, is a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry. I don't believe you fight bigotry with more fucking bigotry. And there is such thing. If I have to give the same consideration and I have to turn my head to the fact that, you know, you can live inside a whale for a couple days and snakes can talk for Christians and say there are good Christians out there, how can I not do the same thing for Jews? Zionism and Judaism is two different fucking things. And the thing about those people is that they are all pro-capitalist. They hate any form of collectivism. This is the Dan Bilzerians, Nick Fuentes. Is they turn their blind eye on an empire. They hate immigrants. They're anti-immigrant. They want the status quo. They're here to sell you that if we just get rid of the Jew problem we have, that Cartwright would say, then everything will be okay. Then we can go back to good old-fashioned American imperialism. That is why they are getting promoted. That is why they are getting lifted. And the anti-Zionism shit they're talking about, this is shit that fucking Minister Farrakhan and fucking Cynthia McKinney were talking about 20 years ago. Cynthia McKinney went over on the first flotilla and spent days in a fucking Israeli prison. So don't fucking tell me that these people are saying something when they're talking truths that it's brand new and out of the good. I mean, that other jerk off, Myron Gaines, said that, oh my God, Candace Owens exposed all that stuff on the USS Liberty. We've been talking about that shit for fucking years.
Yes. No, I remember when I go back, because the USS Liberty was a false flag by Israel, and I know the Gulf of Tonkin was Operation Northwood, which led to Vietnam. Vietnam was just horrible. Scumbag Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, and I say this, I feel like the realest president we had was JFK, because you know he wanted to dismantle Israel from having nukes and stuff, and also like Stu Peter is the worst version of Nick Fuentes. You know Stu Peters, right? Oh, he's the worst.
We share the same lawyer.
He's on Rumble.
Yeah, we share the same lawyer.
Oh, that's man. It's like really? Oh hell no.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
the funny thing is with the lawyer and I, when I talk, I mean, he's like, because I get it. I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, like they know. So like they know what they're doing is wrong. It's pushing a concrete divide, but they just wanna push their own agenda. Like saying like right now we know ICE is being used as a secret police to kidnap people, and the death of Renee Good and Alice Peretti, like that was just terrible. And I feel like that's when Americans realize that the imperial boomerang is right here. Like the stuff we do overseas will come back and be weaponized against us.
Always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
Yep, they're treating fucking major cities like they're Baghdad right now. They're literally just got people kicking down doors with guns, screaming, dragging people out of their houses and putting them in black sites.
No, those facilities that they're building, they're not for the immigrant. It starts with the immigrant and it ends up with us. Yeah. Like people don't fucking get that shit.
That's what I told somebody. Yes, that's what I told somebody. I'm one of my buddies. I told him like, you see with the ICE stuff right here, it's gonna be weaponized against Americans. And I told him the reason why a lot of these people come here is because of our foreign policy. Cuba right now, economic embargo.
This guy's CIA.
Because we know sanctions are selling weapons.
Seydu, you're CIA.
I'm not,
what's your badge number? Give us your badge number, Seydu. I say this all the time.
If I was CIA, look,
get out of my head.
I was gonna. No. If I was CIA, I'm not under MK Ultra or nothing. If I was CIA, I would say it's the Jews that run the world because that's CIA talking point.
You could pass some time playing solitaire.
Yeah, but you know, I've been following you guys for like 2 years, and I appreciate you guys because Like I learned more from you guys because back then, you know, I was starting to like leave the Libertarian Party because I realized they were compromised. But one thing I appreciate about them, they woke me up about COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean they
Well, I
had
think the Libertarian Party has the same issue that the Green Party does. Like, I don't have as much personal experience, but it's just infiltrated.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
like it's a controlled organization, and 2024 proved that with Donald Trump being able to literally take over the Libertarian Party with a snap of his fingers. You know?
2024. Like me, I knew he was full of shit. Like, but it was just crazy how people fall for. And Pasta, I was watching a video. You and Matt, you said Trump was the worst one we have. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, because like he don't know how to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Like one thing I could say about Obama and Genocide Joe is like we saw the imperialism right from the we know under Obama what he did with the Saudi-backed genocide. You know his drone warfare war crimes. My family voted for Obama twice, but you know. They realized that he was part of the establishment, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Seydu. Listen,
So
we have somebody on hold. They're sitting there waiting for us. They just texted me. Seydu, thank you so much. I want you to be a regular on the show. You said you've been listening to us for the last couple of years. I want you to listen for a couple more. Because I've been doing this for 7 years. So you gotta get caught up. You owe me another 5 years, especially since you're gonna be repeating my talking points all the time. Get out of my head. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, and call back anytime. Right? What's your name in the chat so we know we can follow you?
What's the name in my chat? Give me a second.
So
I have so since I'm from Senegal, so my username is like it's the language. My name is YALTU/NDEENMATRRIIS. In English, it means exit the matrix. That's what it means in English.
Okay. Brother, thank you so much for calling in. Keep listening. It's so great to have you part of the family on the show now. And maybe you should get together with Andrew and do the bag job.
Most definitely. And I appreciate you guys a lot, though, literally. Because we're on the same page. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Seydu.
All right, bye.
From the Senegal, making the next round of the knockout of 32, I think, in the fucking World Cup. I can't believe that people are texting me now like I'm live. Don't you know that? I fucking sent you the link for fucking 3 weeks straight.
I'm gonna just start texting you for fun while we're doing the show together.
Dude, I'm gonna have to start fucking sending links out to everybody.
All right, I got another call coming.
Doesn't make a difference. Let's get caller. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Michael Santucci, attorney in Fort Lauderdale again. How are you?
Hello, counselor. How are you?
I'm calling in with more information about those road tickets.
Please.
That's not the sort of thing I do, but I did speak to a paralegal that worked at a law firm that used to fight those tickets. And here's some more info. They were red light tickets. They weren't speeding tickets. They were, the cameras would catch people going through red lights. The reason, at least in Florida, that it was declared unconstitutional was that it shifted the burden from the state onto the accused to prove that they were not guilty, which is not the way our legal system works. The burden is on the state to prove you're guilty and you're presumed innocent. Because all they were able to do was take a photo of a license plate. And it's the state's burden to show who was in that car. You can't give a ticket to a car. You can't give a ticket to a license plate. You have to give a ticket to a person.
Well, that's part of the reason why they want to install these cameras in vehicles, right? Because like Teslas, they already have cameras that point at your face that can say like, "Hey, you're not a safe driver." So like if your flock camera is working in line with the camera in your car,
hold on a second, counselor. Can you put your window up? Put the AC on.
It is up. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I have a loud engine.
What kind of car do you got?
Well, Tell them what kind of car you drive,
It
Counselor.
is a. I'm happy you asked. It's a limited edition Dodge Challenger. It was the last of the V8s. It's 2023. There's only 500 of these made, and it's a manual 6-speed, and I love it. It's so much fun to drive.
You shouldn't be driving it. You should have it parked. You should have it parked and conserved. It's a collector's item.
Well, here, so you can't hack a manual transmission car the same way, right? Like, there's been some, I don't remember the guy's name, but there's been journalists that have just randomly had their cars smashed into walls while they were on their way to, give some speeches and stuff. And if you have a manual transmission car, you just take it out of gear. You know what I mean? Like, I can drive my car with the turn it off, and I can still fucking drive down the road. You know. So I think
Counselor, is your phone plugged into your system, your radio system? Because it is loud and windy and everything, and it seems like you just got it on your lap with getting it on speakerphone. Are you trying to do that?
Is this any better?
Yeah, it's 1,000 times better.
Is
You
this
know
any
it
better?
would be.
All right.
Oh my Lord! Now we can hear you. We don't hear the wind.
Well, here was these. They would give you a ticket in the mail, and they'd say you went through a red light, but all they had was a photo of your car and your license plate, but they couldn't prove who was actually driving, because you could borrow somebody's car and go through a red light in somebody else's car. It's not fair for the owner, the person that has owns the registration to the car, to get a ticket for what somebody else did. So these cases were being thrown out, and it was and let me give a shout out to Judge DeLuca in Deerfield Beach. His case is what started this. He's the one that threw this ticket out that went up to the 4th DCA, and then the 4th DCA agreed with Judge DeLuca that these are unconstitutional. Minnesota, the Supreme Court of Minnesota also declared these unconstitutional. That's probably then a statewide thing. And just from AI, I just quickly, before I made the call, got on. There are a few other states that have banned red light robo tickets. But Florida, it's okay in Florida, except for Broward and Palm Beach. You're safe from that in Broward and Palm Beach. Now, are those cameras still on? Probably. Are they picking up other activity? Probably. But the way they were enforcing these robo tickets, at least, was declared unconstitutional. And I love Andrew's idea of bagging the cameras.
Okay, that's my
another
next
charge. I think you might. Yeah, another charge you might want to be concerned about could be obstruction of justice. I mean, I don't know. I'm just riffing, but I can get.
If they're unconstitutional to use to enforce crime, how am I obstructing justice?
Yeah, I mean, there might need to be a charge pending, so that might not work. But I don't know. They could get creative to stop people from bagging the cameras. I don't know. I'd like to ask one of the retired judges that works for our law firm, because they both did criminal law. I'd like to know what they think of that, and I might even ask them to. If you could get us some information, because
I don't want other people to get in trouble off of my ideas, but I know everyone has this compulsion to want to do something. So that's where the whole idea of a bag came from. Is like, it's going to give people a misdemeanor, like a fine, instead of the felony vandalism of a hacksaw. Not that people should or shouldn't hacksaw, but there's more people who will get involved if it's not, here's a felony that we need you to go do,
If it draws attention and they start taking these son of a bitches down like they did in Cleveland, then we win. Right? Before it gets too expensive. But this is the dystopian world we now live in, right? Where this shit is just fucking everywhere. And like I said the other day, like in Coral Springs, when I got pulled over, I was, well, how the fuck did he catch that? It's dark in the, I know he couldn't see my little, and I was going through some issues at the DMV because it was taking over my mom's car, power of attorney. It wasn't like I was just being negligent. It was the fact that we had to get all these things to get switched over. And eventually I got it done, and I was able to bring the paperwork and get it done. But I'm saying to myself, how did both these cops and the one in Highland Beach, it's like I could see he saw me coming and he got ready, and then he got right behind me right away. cut off some cars. And I was like, what the fuck? How did he see that? How did he know that? He kind of spilt the beans saying, now we know where you're going, what's going on. So they're using these cameras. This is unconstitutional shit.
And for another perspective on this, right? I helped start a heating and air conditioning company out here in Cleveland. I don't work for them anymore, but when we would get these traffic tickets all of the time, right? Because you have dudes in vans, all the vans are registered to the company, and small businesses aren't going to pay more to get lawyers and go to court and fight these things. So like on an individual level, it's easy for someone to show up to court because like we're not employees, right? There's no money that has to get spent. There's no attorneys that have to get involved on a business level. And so a lot of small businesses that do transportation, especially I would assume like Amazon delivery drivers and heating and air conditioning and plumbing, those people get charged with these tickets, even if they're unconstitutional. And then they still just pay them because it's easier to say, okay, well, fuck it. We'll give them $200. We don't have to go to court. We don't have to spend weeks dealing with this or pay an attorney that's going to cost us more. So that's another, it's basically another form of tax that gets applied to small businesses that use transportation in their business model.
And Miguel, we saw too with Coral Springs, they used a state grant to buy this shit. That's taxpayer money, is it not?
Wow. Yeah.
Where do the state grants come from? Where did the money come from in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Yeah, that I don't know.
We don't know exactly.
Huh? I live in the township, right? Like I don't pay city income tax. I don't have police officers. There's only sheriffs that come into this area. And the city that I am the township of is the ones who put the cameras in the township. And I don't even know if the township was involved in it. So I can't even go to my local government to say, hey, remove these cameras, because they're not even the ones that installed them. They're not the ones that paid for them. They're not the ones that hold the contract. So
Miguel, we're gonna let you go.
For me,
I'm so sorry. I want to get Miguel off because I know he's got to get going, and it's getting near the end. But Miguel, I want you to give you a quick second. Sorry for cutting you off, Andrew, but it's 9:47. Miguel, I want you to wrap it up, but if you want to say any words about Venezuela real quick. Anybody, family members, all that stuff. If you want to send any love, now is the time. We got about good 65 people watching between a couple networks. They're watching live and they'll watch it later on. If you have anything to say, please do so right now.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, I can't give any details about any particular people for certain reasons, but yeah, it's terrible over there right now. There's 2 earthquakes back to back. The second one was worse than the first. I think the first one was a 7.6. The second one was like a 7.11. And on the same day, Japan gets hit with a similar level earthquake, like catastrophic. And California got a 5 point something, all in one day. And someone showed me some screenshots a week ago. There were 4 that were off in the Pacific near Russia. 4 earthquakes on the same day. Again, I don't want to start any conspiracy theories without any data, but that all sounds very suspicious. To have 4 major earthquakes in one day, and then 4. In one area near Russia on another day just last week. But, all I can say is, my prayers go out to Venezuela. My prayers go out to my friends and family members that are there right now. I just hope they get back soon and that their injuries heal.
Yeah, it's a shame. And we just want to send some love out there to the people of Venezuela.
Yeah, I really hope everything's okay. That is like just watching that footage, man. That breaks my heart for real.
Yeah, it sucks. Listen, I just want to say I love you. Thank you for calling in. Thanks for giving the information about the cameras and whatnot. And we'll give you a call when we need bail to get bailed out and stuff for putting garbage back on cameras.
Fight those tickets. Andrew's right. If you feel you're treated unfairly or you don't deserve that ticket or you want to challenge it, there are plenty of attorneys. I'll name one, Justin Weisberg in Fort Lauderdale. They'll go to court for you to the first hearing. Andrew's exactly right. If the law enforcement officer does not show up, that ticket gets dismissed right there. So you don't even have to show up. The lawyer will do it for you. A lot of times, if your record is decent,
but it's not the ticket. I want the fucking cameras taken down.
I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The ticket is just one. The ticket is one thing. It's the geofencing and geo mapping of everything around us.
Mm-hmm.
This is Larry Ellis.
We're talking about two different things. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The other thing you can do with these cameras is just plant bamboo by them. Bamboo grows so fast that it'll literally become like bamboo will grow a foot a day. So every 9 days, they will have to send someone out to do maintenance on these. And if you put it at every place, right, every camera you find, you bamboo in front of it, they're not going to have the staff available every 9 days to go to each one of these cameras to remove the bamboo. That's just an idea.
Could you see the city ordinance guy? I'm usually picking up trash. Right now, I'm going around cutting down bamboo off of everything.
Right.
Miguel Santiago, we love you.
Stress on the municipal infrastructure because, like I'm a municipalist. Like I don't know, like what better word to use. I've thought for a long time. Like I believe that the city should be the only source. Municipalism.
Yeah.
I think that every city should have its own central bank, that the people can choose what infrastructure that city has or doesn't have and finance it through their municipal bank, But so I think that applying stress at the most direct level is the most effective way. And like bags, bamboo, whatever you do, it literally requires a person to go out there to handle it. They can't send an AI robot out right now to go take a bag off of a security camera.
I think we should just get EPM guns, electromagnetic pulse guns, and just go shoot these fucking things with the guns.
Hey, you could use a microwave and reverse engineer a microwave to do that exact thing.
We're getting crazy right now. Miguel Santiago, we love you. Please call back in and have a great day today, my friend.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for the information, too, by the way, Counselor. Is there anybody else in the queue, the call? Because we do have to wrap it up soon.
It's not raining yet. Let's give it a couple seconds.
Wait a second.
I'll get posters for people up. I've been working on them. I'm still trying to figure. Like I usually try to make some like catchy shit, but it's kind of hard.
Follow you online. Let's start with that. Can you put something in the chat real quick?
Yeah,
a link
just my name and the little doobly-doo at Andrew Zigman on Twitter. That's the only place I ever go on social media anymore. At Andrew Zigman.
Put it in the chat. TK2 Beyond's like that shit spreads rapidly, and he goes, but as a former landscaper, I hate invasive species. So you don't like there it is. You don't like
an invasive species. You know what I mean?
Not like iguanas then in Florida? They're everywhere, and they're an invasive species. When you catch them, it's illegal to set them back. Andrew, you let everybody know where they can find you. What else you got going on? I'm about to read the closing words in about a minute here to get us on out of here. It is Friday. Man, it's been fun doing this show with you so far. Fridays have been a success.
I love
Friday, you never know what to expect. Like, so Friday for me, mentally in my mind, I'm like, I want this kind of like cool, like pop culture, culture-y, like maybe somebody who was a gamer at one point. I want somebody different on a Friday. And I was like, oh man, I want Andrew. But I've always been like suspicious. Like Fridays, a lot of people don't go online. They don't have work. They can sleep in, whatever. It's like Friday is not like the normal weekday, right? So I didn't know what it would be like doing this, but we've had some new and interesting people that come on a Friday, people who come on Fridays only. It's been fucking fun doing this with you so far, and I'm looking forward to doing more, man. And
Absolutely.
I love the idea of the bags. Before you go crazy, ladies and gentlemen, this is not advice. Let's find out from the lawyers. But putting bags over the cameras, we should at least go out, talk out against flock cameras. Tell your neighbors about them. If you're in a city or a county that has flock cameras, let's talk out against them. This is bullshit. We need to get them taken down.
And no one likes these fucking things once they know. Nobody.
What's that? Sleepy?
I said nobody likes these fucking things once they know what they are.
Yeah. They're always on. They're always watching.
The
like
best
Big
piece of
Brother.
advice I can give anybody, just from my life experience, is just love the shit out of the people in your life for as long and as hard as you can. You know,
Good advice.
That's,
You know what the advice was when I first started getting into all this stuff, learning about the Great Reset, the the Fourth Industrial Revolution, all the Agenda 2020, everything they were trying to do, the way they were trying to make us less human, right? Burmes's advice to me, I'm like, so what do we do? He goes, drink beer and eat chicken wings.
Yep.
I mean, what do you mean? He goes, go out, be with your friends, be as human as possible, touch, tell people you love them, see them eye to eye, communicate, and that's like what you just said, love your people, love the shit out of them. And it's true, because we have a limited time here, and they are trying to make us less human. They are trying to separate us, split us apart. When I say they, I'm talking about that ruling class that rules above us. We're just dogs running around a property. Some people have a little bit more areas to run. They can run a little bit more, but they're still constrained. We're still living in their dystopian
Still
world.
a damn fence.
Yeah. There's still a fence, and that fence is going to get tighter on it and close in on us. And one day its attempt is to kill us all because they hate us. We're useless eaters in their mind. Andrew Ziegman, take it away, and we'll see you next Friday.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
Love you, brother.
Yeah,
like
love
you
you
don't
too,
need.
man.
I love the shit out of you. The way you say that people should love the shit out of each other, Andrew Ziegman.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, for real.
You've been awesome. Thank you for doing this with me. I can't thank you enough. You can get the hell out of here. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of diversity. The world that often feels divided. There's understanding. Remember, it's okay to disagree. It's how we handle those disagreements that truly matters. Let's embrace dialogue over debate, compassion over conflict. When we listen to one another, we open the door to meaningful relationships. By engaging with our diverse communities, we can find common ground and build bridges that promote peace. So I encourage you to reach out to someone with a different viewpoint. Share a meal, have a conversation, or simply listen. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness and understanding in our neighborhoods and beyond. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Remember, together we can celebrate our diversity and pave the way for a brighter, more peaceful future. Until next time, keep the dialogue flowing and that peace growing. For Craig Pasta Jardula, Sleepy J, Andrew Ziegman, and all the lovely callers today, say do. It was awesome to hear from you. Miguel Santiago, Mike Santucci, anybody else who I missed, you were in the chat hanging out. Fred Edwards, Gabriel Freedom. We love you all. Please, Knights in the Malta was hanging out there. Exit Knight in the Malta. What's his name? He was there all day today. I think his name is Choosy. We love you too as well. And until next time, we'll see you next week. Stay calm. Have a fun time. We love you, and peace.